Hello and welcome back to another episode of Math with Sohn. Today we are going to be learning how to factor something with four terms, which normally indicates that you are going to have to use factor by grouping. Now, factor by grouping can be used with four terms, but it also could be used with six or more, but typically four. Now, what you need to do is look for the first grouping and then the next grouping and ask yourself, what can I divide each of those things by? And normally it's the first two and the second two. So here you can divide both of these by a 5. The 5 can be divided by 5 and the 30 can be divided by 5. And if you divide both of them by a 5, but not just a 5, but a 5m squared because they both had an m squared that you could remove, then you could divide the 5m squared to the third by that and you would be left with just an m. And if you divide 30 by 5, you end up with a negative 6. And if you take away the two m's, the m squared, you get an m minus 6. And then you have to divide the second thing, not by a 5m squared, but what it can divide by, which would be a 4, because you can divide both 24 and 4 by that. And you do have to be careful because sometimes you divide by 4, but other times you may divide by negative 4. And it's all dependent on making sure that when you divide by 4, it also equals an m minus 6. And 4 divided by 4 is m, and 24 divided by the 4 makes the negative 6. So these both do equal the same thing. That has to occur. If that doesn't occur, this won't work. So these are both the same, this m minus 6 part. That's one factor. So we will have one factor that's that, and the other factor is this part that I am squiggling right now, the 5m squared plus 4, the 5m squared with that 4, and then the m minus 6 for the other one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is factor by grouping. You do need to make sure that this part with the m squared is not factorable, and it's not because of several reasons. First, it's positive 4. And it needed to be a negative 4 if you only have two terms, and the 5 isn't square rootable. Okay? So let's take it up another notch slightly. Let's say that it looks something like this, where it was 24xy, 18x, and then these guys right here. So same idea. You look at your first two, and you ask yourself, what can I divide both of those by? And I'm pretty sure that you can divide them both by not only a 6, but also they both have an x that you could remove. So let's divide them both by a 6 and an x. That would leave us with 4y plus 3. And then over here, you can divide both of these by a 5y, and it would have to be a positive 5y for them to really kind of seem like it's going to make a 4y plus 3. If we divide 20 by 5, you end up with 4. And take away a y. If you divide 15 by 5, you end up with 3, and you take away a y. And lo and behold, 4y plus 3, that is one factor. The other factor would be the part in front, the 6x plus 5y, and then the 4y plus 3. Okay? So that's going to do it for this one. I may consider making a version of this that is even harder, because factor by grouping is one of those things that it's just found in so many different situations for factoring. It normally is used when you have four terms, though. That's when I find it to be the most useful. So until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.